Welcome to Privacy Trainer's Privacy Definitions. Now, let's continue our alphabetical journey through key privacy terms, focusing on those beginning with the letter J. Joint operations pertains to collaborative efforts involving supervisory authorities from different member states under the GDPR, particularly when data processing activities impact individuals across borders. This coordination is essential for maintaining regulatory consistency. Junk Fax Prevention Act of 2005. This U.S. legislation amends earlier restrictions by allowing fax-based marketing under the condition of an existing business relationship. It mandates that all marketing faxes include clear opt-out instructions to respect consumer preferences and prevent unwanted communications. Jurisdiction refers to the legal authority granted to courts over certain types of cases and the individuals involved. Jurisdiction can also define the geographical or topical boundaries within which such authority is exercised. Just-in-time notification, a privacy practice that involves informing users and obtaining their consent at the exact moment their information is being collected, enhancing transparency and user control. Joint data controllers, when two or more entities jointly determine the purposes and means of processing personal data, they are recognized as joint controllers, sharing responsibility for compliance with data protection regulations. Judicial redress, the right of individuals, often non-citizens or residents of a country, to seek legal remedies in courts against unlawful privacy invasions or data breaches, ensuring fairness and accountability. Job applicant privacy concerns the handling of personal information submitted by job applicants, including how it is collected, stored, and used during the hiring process. JavaScript security encompasses the techniques and practices for securing JavaScript code against vulnerabilities and exploits that could lead to privacy breaches or data leaks. Journey data, information collected about an individual's travel patterns and behaviors, which requires careful handling to protect privacy and prevent misuse. JSON Web Token, JWT, a compact, URL-safe means of representing claims securely between two parties, often used in token-based authentication systems. Juvenile data protection, special considerations and regulations that apply to collecting, processing, and storing data from individuals under a certain age, focusing on enhancing privacy safeguards. Juxtaposition risk, the risk that arises when data from different sources is combined, potentially creating sensitive information that was not initially classified as such. Justifiable data retention refers to the practice of retaining data only for as long as is necessary for specified, legitimate purposes, in line with privacy principles and regulations. Judicious data sharing, the cautious and considered sharing of data between organizations, ensuring that such exchanges comply with privacy laws and user consent. Juridical data review, the legal examination of data practices to ensure they comply with relevant laws and regulations, typically conducted by legal professionals. Justification of data collection, the requirement for organizations to clearly explain the necessity and legal basis for collecting personal data, supporting transparency and accountability. Jitter analysis, a method used in data security to analyze the timing variations in transmitting data packets, which can help detect and mitigate privacy threats or attacks. Jargon minimization, the practice of reducing the use of technical or specialized language in privacy notices and communications to make information more accessible and understandable to users. Journalistic data exception, a provision in some privacy regulations that allows journalists to process personal data for news reporting without adhering to typical restrictions, provided they respect the principles of necessity and proportionality. Junction data systems, technological setups where data from multiple sources is converged and processed, requiring robust privacy controls to manage risks associated with data integration. Jurisdictional transfer restrictions, legal limitations on the transfer of personal data across geographical or political boundaries, aimed at protecting data from being subjected to less stringent privacy regimes. Juvenile online privacy training, educational programs aimed at teaching young internet users about privacy risks and safe online behaviors, fostering a culture of privacy from an early age. Just-in-time access controls, security measures that grant access to data or systems only at the time it is needed for legitimate tasks, reducing the risk of unauthorized access or data exposure. Judicial data, sealing, the practice of legally restricting access to certain court records to protect the privacy of individuals involved in sensitive or personal legal matters. Jury data protection, measures taken to secure the personal information of jurors to prevent undue influence or harm, maintaining the integrity of the judicial process. JWT, security enhancements, improvements and safeguards implemented in the handling and utilization of JSON Web Tokens to prevent exploitation and protect data transmissions. Juxtaposed regulation compliance, the challenge and practice of adhering to multiple regulatory frameworks simultaneously, particularly when data spans different jurisdictions with varying privacy laws. Just-in-sequence data processing, a method where data is processed in a sequential order that aligns with operational